Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If it's not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading right now for these Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for empaths, also for really just anybody who's wanting to receive messages. Your abundance is about to come forward. Okay. We're just going to claim it right here, right now. Your abundance is about to come forward. This 222 portal, because today is the portal day, this is something that you can really use to create tremendous amounts of stability for yourself. Excuse me. The heck was that? It's time for you to create um, as much stability for yourself as possible. This is not going to happen without your consent. Okay. You're going to have to choose this for yourself. What is going on? Hold on, guys. What is this? My imagination. I'm just tripping myself out. Okay. So, oof. What is that? Is it cat hair? Have you guys ever had that happen? Okay. Anyways. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's time for us to really allow things to happen for our benefit. Okay. As Pisceans, as empaths, we have a tendency to be so apologetic for simply existing. We are shamed so heavily for having goals, for working towards the goals, for understanding our worth, for valuing our time. The time for that to be over was like years ago. Not just today, but years ago. Okay. So we have to really give ourselves permission to exit that matrix, that program that we have been told is the only way we can exist. I promise you, that is not the only way you can exist. That is not a healthy way to exist. It's a way of existence that really blocks you from fulfilling your purpose in this life. Empaths and Pisceans have this. Okay, so usually, if you're born with your empathy fully intact, fully active, if you are born as a Piscean, usually a huge part of your purpose is helping people in your environment learn how to self love. That's why you struggle so much with self love. Because as you learn to love yourself, the people who witness it will learn the true value of that self love. They'll learn to love themselves as well. Okay. So it's important that you fulfill your purpose by allowing yourself to love yourself, heal yourself, receive for yourself. Um, in regards to abundance, when in regards to abundance, when you allow your abundance in, you're not taking that from anyone else. Someone else is not going without because you're receiving. Each of us have some type of abundance that creation has allotted just to us, just for you. That means if you allow yourself to receive all sorts of different forms of abundance, support, love, monies, abundance comes in so many different forms. It's not just money, it's not just financial. When you allow yourself to receive, you are better positioned to help other people. Because ultimately, um, unless you're not balanced, unless you're not a balanced Piscean or empath, um, I'm pretty sure all the balanced ones will greatly resonate with this need to give, need to help other people. Like, how many empaths or Pisceans, you don't have much, but so long as you have something, you're going to go ahead and help someone. You're going to use that to help someone else. You're going to love on other people, get people gifts, help them out of their own circumstance. And how many of you, how many of us don't have anything yet we still give, to the point where we allow ourselves to go without just so someone else can have? I'm sure so many of you guys can resonate with that. So now it's time for us to step away from a program that doesn't honor our needs. It's okay to give. You're not being asked to no longer give and no longer take care of other people. You're being asked to allow yourself to receive. Those two things are very different. They're very, very different. Thank you, Bradley. Oh my gosh. 222. Okay. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Let me just pull this deck out and then we'll be ready. Okay. Push that back in. All right. All right, guys. Oh, Michael is telling me to look at the bottom of a deck. I don't know. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. I don't know about that. Okay, here goes. Ooh, adventures. You have to approach this period as though it's an adventure. Okay. One where there's waterfalls, that water of abundance is spraying on everything that's present. That includes you, that includes whoever's there with you, on everything. Allow your abundance to sprinkle on every aspect of your life. Remember, you have to begin opening up your perception of what abundance is to include love, support, acceptance, understanding. Um, Ooh, this is also part of abundance, a sense of security, feeling safe within your life, within your journey, within your environment. It's so common for Pisceans and empaths to not feel safe in their environment and not say anything. It's very, very common. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we feel like we can't really truly be ourselves? The only time or the only thing we can show people who we think love us is accommodation. Like we have to go out of our way all the time, and heaven forbid they go out of their way to love us. Like, example, for as long as I've known my husband, I really, really like to go out of my way, like on his birthday, to get him all kind of stuff, to plan, really sweet things, cook all the foods that he loves. But I mean, when it comes to my birthday, like, no, I don't even want you to say happy birthday. That's just weird. Like, no, you don't need to get me anything. That's just weird. Why is that weird? I'm slowly learning. He's slowly helping me to learn over the course of 20 something years that it's okay for me to be spoiled by other people. That just because I'm allowing myself to receive does not mean I'm giving permission for that person giving something to me to hurt me, abuse me, um, use me later on. We have to release that type of mindset, that type of programming. Yes, it's true. There are people who will give you things and offer you things because they have intent, like it's a prepayment for something later on. Yes, people like that do exist. Yes, people like that do exist, but they have no place in your life. When you see someone doing that to other people, when you get that feeling without really knowing them, please listen to it. Your higher self is gifting you with the opportunity to avoid unnecessary pain, unnecessary disappointment, betrayal, all of those things. Listen to it. It doesn't make you a bad person. A lot of the times when our abundance is blocked, it's because we've blocked it ourselves. Really let yourself come to terms with this. No one else can block your abundance from you but yourself. No one else. No one can do this to you. They cannot, not without your consent. So stop giving consent. It's a very complex thing because it's so simple. The human brain, especially when you're ridiculously smart, um, If the solution is too simple, you think it's not the right solution. The right solution. In reality, when it comes to life circumstance, the solutions are very, very simple. We just don't want to listen to it. We don't, because we further complicate it with this sense of like, it's my fault, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, I'm being mean by hearing my intuition telling me that this is going to end badly. Like, I don't want to be a mean person. Mean people don't think these things. Mean people do mean things. They don't think twice about if it was mean or not. If you consistently worry about whether you're rude, whether you're mean, whether you're inconsiderate, all of those types of questioning of yourself and your integrity, you probably not what you're accusing yourself of. How can you accuse yourself of something like that when you're always worried about being that because it's so ugly, it's so this and that? You're always worried about being a bad person. Yet you accuse yourself of being a bad person. And when a bad person is in front of you and your higher self is telling you, this is a bad person, you tell yourself, oh my God, why am I so mean? You're not mean. You're in denial. Huge difference. Huge difference. I had to learn this for myself um, several times. Several times. Okay, courage. Find the courage to exit the water and walk on the shoreline. Now, this exiting of the water, it's probably going to be something dramatic. Um, it's going to feel like you're being smashed on rocks. Um, Parts of your essence spraying everywhere, people probably trying to call you out for what, excuse me, for making a living wage, for having boundaries, for being self-centered. I mean, when you begin to take into consideration your needs, there will be those who will be upset that taking into consideration your own personal needs means they can no longer take advantage of you. And it's at that point you've identified someone who needs to be removed from your life. There is nothing mean about self preservation. If you feel the need to preserve yourself around specific people, they should not have a place in your life. Why continue to exist in an environment that causes you to further question your worth and your ability to receive your own abundance? That's a form of blocking your abundance from entering your life. When you consistently allow yourself to exist around people who do this, why are you so mad at yourself that you're allowing this to happen? Well, what is that about? Where does it stem from? And a lot of things that happen to us stem from our childhood. Oops. So, card number 14, wishful expectations. Pisceans and empaths. There are plenty of people in this world who will accuse you of not being able to finish anything. I beg to differ. Your intuition tells you when this is a lost cause, and so you just walk away. It's not that you can't finish anything, it's that you're not going to waste your time. It's the truth. Why waste your time on something that you know is just a hamster wheel? Why is that? You know that when it's something important to you, when it's something that really moves your heart, you're fully committed. This is something you're going to go all the way through with. You're going to finish the job, finish the project. You're going to be very, very successful. You're going to exceed expectations. You're going to present whatever this is in a way that is so unique that it's going to catch everyone's attention. Yet we're constantly accused of not being able to finish anything. Why is that? Well, we're being accused because I don't know, maybe it's an attempt to further shame you into submission, into silencing yourself, into adopting the views of other people who don't know themselves. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know the steps to begin the process of learning yourself and your purpose, who really are you to speak about other people? What is the gravity of your opinion? To me, it has no gravity. It's not anchored into anything. And that's like someone who is in very, very, very bad health, like multiple health problems, serious ones, um, multiple health problems that stem from poor life choices, telling me how to be healthy. And you know this because, and I should listen to you because, um, so you have to allow yourself to let go of that need to fully take in someone else's opinion. Now is a time for you to truly be self centered. You have to center your attention on yourself. I don't know when the concept of self centeredness became um, something that was so rooted in imbalance, self hatred, self denial. Like, who are you supposed to revolve around? These are questions I've been asking for a few years, and people usually are like, "What is she talking about? Is she encouraging people to be like ugly?" Well, honestly, I think what's ugly is trying to force other people to comply. I think what's ugly is trying to shame someone into denying their own abundance and their own beauty simply because you're uncomfortable witnessing their blossoming. That's ugly. That's super ugly. That is super, 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 super ugly. But I'm not here to focus on the ugly. I'm here to focus on all the ways in which we can once again live a life that is beautiful for our standards. Like whatever your standards are, um make it something beautiful for yourself. Make it something where you feel ridiculously in love with yourself and your life. And being in love with yourself has nothing to do with comparing and competing with other people. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. The more I fall in love with myself, the less I check up on other people, like what you're doing, what you're accomplishing. Like I can share space with you. I can be genuinely like, "Hey, how's everything going?" And really be fully present. But at no point am I like checking in to see if you've accomplished more than me. What's the point in that? I'm like too busy really loving my life at this point. Loving my life because I'm getting to a place where I'm understanding myself better. It has nothing to do with monetary. Excuse me. Now I'm scared. Is like cat hair in this? No, scared of cat hair. Card number 20, enough. You were born enough. There is no point in your life where you're suddenly going to be enough. Not until you recognize yourself as being enough. You're just, yeah. Until you get to a point within yourself where you're starting to like feel maybe still unsure, but feel as though you're enough. Um, no longer questioning yourself, but questioning why you continue to believe and disbelieve in your worth. Um, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's at that point you're beginning to understand you're an abundant source of beautiful energy. Keep most of that for yourself. You just need to. You need to. Because being a martyr, not only is it emotional manipulation, yes, I used to be a martyr for much of my life. And I recognize it is a form of emotional manipulation where I will allow myself to be harmed in order to create the end result, which is you seeing me the way I want you to see me as a good person, as someone who gives me too much. And no, I don't need that anymore. You're going to see me however you're going to see me. I'm not going to hurt or harm myself to get that coveted image of I'm a good person. You either know I'm a good person or you don't. And if you don't, hey, you know what? I'm not an eye doctor. It's not my job to fix your ability to see. See what I did there? Yeah, that's me recognizing and really, really owning I am a good person. There's no need to explain. There's no need to justify. People either agree or they don't. Either agree or they don't. Okay. I had a loved one tell me that I was self centered because I got so passionate when talking about my journey. Yeah. Unless your journey, ties into what society tells you is important. Yeah. They don't like that. People who really buy into the system of control and oppression, they don't like that. They don't. And, you can't really fault them too much because if you don't know better, how will you behave better? You won't. And at that point, you need to just allow yourself permission to walk away from that conversation. Card number 12, creative power. Release your alchemical energy into the world. Whatever you send out into the world comes back to you, amplified. If you send out into the world a feeling of fear, a feeling of um, unworthiness, a feeling of maybe people are right, maybe I'm not a good person, it will come back to you, amplified. Send out into the world this knowing that you deserve to experience an amazing life, allowing your definition of amazing to be a very loose, casual definition. We're not going to be fixed on the only way for me to have an amazing life is if I'm filthy rich and I drive a Rolls Royce and I own a yacht, because that's not an amazing life. I promise you. I promise you. Most of the people that I know personally who own those things, they're very unhappy with their life. Very unhappy. They have all these material things and they're unhappy because they have to worry about what people's intentions are. They have to worry about this, they have to worry about that. They're constantly in a mode of compete, compare, and the material things really mean nothing. They feel lonely. They feel misunderstood. They feel attacked most of the time. Like, oh my God, what's that person want from me now? Um, yeah. And they became my friend because they knew I don't want anything from you. I really don't. I don't want anything. It's nice that you have nice things. I'm not interested in the nice things, but I do see you're lonely and you're suffering. I do see you're hurting quite a bit and no one understands. And although I don't have those things, um, I do understand that feeling and I see you. See, oftentimes people just want to be seen. They just want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to know that their existence matters. Well, I'm telling you right now, your existence matters. What other type of sign do you need? What other type of confirmation are you waiting for? You're hearing it right now. You matter. Your existence matters. Every single last one of us, our existence matters. And whether people are showing you that you matter in a monetary form or emotional, or maybe they're hiding the way they value you from you, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Allow yourself to value yourself in the ways you seek out other people to value you. You don't need someone else to dictate to you your worth. All right. Ooh. Awakened awareness. A really good friend of mine, um, she presented an amazing conversation post regarding awareness and consciousness. Your consciousness, as she says, I completely agree with Amber. She says your consciousness is an infinite thing, it's complete in itself. It's your awareness that's finite. And that expansion of the awareness, I'm paraphrasing, the expansion of the awareness is actually what the ascension process is. It's not expanding your consciousness. Your consciousness is already infinite. Your awareness of your consciousness is what you're working on. So, awakened awareness. When you awaken your awareness, you totally dilate all of those pathways that are used for your abundance to come in, for the flow of your good life. What's a good life? One where you feel happy with yourself. That's a good life. That's a really, really good life. Has nothing to do with a bank account. A good life is where you feel just happy with yourself, happy by yourself, and being able to share that happiness with other people. So, solar plexus chakra. Radiant illumination. Your personal power is growing as your personal power continues to expand, because of that expansion within the solar plexus. Um, People are going to get irritated with you. Mhm. They're going to get irritated with you. They're going to challenge you. When you begin to experience this, know that your process is ramping up. That means you're reaching some end zone where, no matter what, you win. You win because it's your life. It's your life. No one else has to win at the game that is your life. Life is like a game, really. It is. I'm not talking about playing games with other people. I'm talking about the games we play with ourselves, where we try and what is the opposite of hyping yourself up? I can't think this morning. The opposite of hyping yourself up. We try and tear ourselves down just to make other people comfortable. We try and silence ourselves because heaven forbid we we upset someone just by existing. I mean, really, the people who are upset, the people who argue because of something you do, they were looking for an argument to begin with. They were. Like when I go on social media, if I'm in a good mood and I see people arguing, I'm like, oh my God, this is so obnoxious. And I just keep scrolling. But when I'm in a catty mood, because I mean, really, I can't pick on my children. I can't pick on my husband. I'm just in a catty mood and I'm like sour over something. It doesn't even matter what it is. And I'm online. Oh, hell yeah. Tag me in. I want to argue too. Has nothing to do with you. It doesn't. Has everything to do with the way I am in that moment. So if that's the case, you can't control other people's reaction to your growth. So allow yourself to grow. Maybe they're offended about their own lack of growth and they're comparing themselves to you. Well, honestly, that's their bad for comparing themselves to something that's not them. And I've had plenty of that already, where people will compare themselves to me and be upset because they feel like they don't measure up. It's not because I told you you don't measure up, it's because you believe that within yourself. And at that point, do I need to explain anything? Do I need to justify anything? Do you need to? Because when someone is committed to not understanding you so that they can justify their attack of you, it's a waste of your time trying to explain, trying to get them to see you in the way you want them to see you because they refuse to. And as sovereigns, you can't make them. You can't. You can't. So reclaim your energy. Card number 42, reclaim your energy. It's at this point you're going to need to decide for yourself. Am I going to continue to give myself away to people who don't deserve that type of unconditional, all encompassing, never ending love? The truth of the matter is, not everyone is worthy of that. Not everyone is capable or willing to receive that type of love. And you don't get a say in who is and who isn't. You're simply obligated to recognize when the person in front of you that you're trying to love is not willing to accept it. And if that's the case, if they don't want to accept the love that you bring, reclaim your energy, please. Bring it back into you. Bring it back into you. There's no point in watering someone else's seeds if their soil is toxic. Because what's going to grow? Radioactive cabbage? I mean, who's going to use that? Who's going to eat that? Whereas what you're growing is something that can help to not just sustain you, but sustain so many other people. Why do you keep diverting your watering water, your water to toxic soil, uninhabitable lands? You keep trying to give your energy to that because you're going to heal that. What, heal it from being itself? You can't. You can't change someone into the person you believe they should be. Because what if you're wrong? I find that empaths and Pisceans, we have this tendency of falling in love with someone's potential. We have the ability to see their potential much more easily and readily than we're able or willing to see the truth of who they are in that moment. That's how you deplete yourself of energy. That's how you hurt yourself in such a way that causes you to crimp, not just atrophy, but full on crimp your pathways of abundance. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why? Because I see that they're a good person. I see their potential. Here's the thing, this is what I learned for myself. I can see whatever I see. That's perfectly fine. No one's telling me not to see it. But the fact is this, by laws of sovereignty, they have the sovereign right and full authority to choose to never tap into the potential that I see. And there is absolutely nothing I can do about that. I have no say in that. I have no say in that. And me trying to change someone, how would you feel? How would you feel if you had, like, say, your most favorite dessert in front of you? Let's just pretend your most favorite dessert is tiramisu, okay? You have your spoon, you're scooping it up, and you're about to put it in your mouth, and I slap that shit out of your hand. Just right out of your hand. You have so much potential to reverse the signs of aging by refusing to eat sugar. And it's full of, like, caffeine. It's full of grains, all these things that it affects your potential. How would you feel about me? And I the moment you begin to scoop another, I slap that shit right when it's like right there. Just slap it out of your hand. I mean, I'm just saying. If someone slapped tiramisu out, that's a fucking fight right there. I'm not even gonna try a second time. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna jump on your ass. Motherfucker, how dare you waste a spoonful of tiramisu? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. How do you think people feel when you do this to them? When you try and turn them into a person project? Hey, most people are too civilized to fight with you with that type of. I'm not. I'm not so civilized. I wouldn't fight with you. I would be like, bitch, try it again. Now I'm inviting you. Try it again. See what happens. Yeah, no, we can't do that. No matter how much potential you see in someone, you cannot control them in that way. And the more you try and control them in that way, the more disappointed you become. The more disappointed you become, the more betrayed you feel. The more betrayed you feel, the more you will hold on tightly, failing to realize what you're holding. And now crimping are your pathways of abundance. You're blocking all of that from entering your field. You have effectively stopped the flow of abundance to you. And we have to get to a point where our desire to save someone else does not become more of a priority to us than our need to love ourselves. That's not like a cool, spiritual thing that you can. I mean, it is cool, it is a spiritual process, but it's also a need, a very real need. Self love is an actual human need. It is a basic need. In order for you to live a healthy life, you need to go through the process of recognizing you deserve to be loved. I was truly thinking about tiramisu. You deserve to be loved by you. And much of humanity goes out of its way to find this love from someone else. Like, someone else has to love me in this way. I want this, and this. Everyone shows their love, expresses their love in a different way. I remember I had a friend who was upset because her husband was not showing his affection to her the way she shows affection. She buys him flowers, which I guess I don't know if he likes it or not, but he doesn't buy her flowers. He buys her, I think it was like expensive ass shoes or something. I think that's what it was. And she likes shoes too, but she's like, he doesn't love me because he doesn't bring me flowers. He's not you. He never asked you to give him flowers. You don't give him shoes. I mean, what's that got to do with him? What's that got to do? You like to give him flowers. He doesn't want flowers. He gives you shoes. You don't want shoes. You want buy yourself flowers. Buy yourself flowers and allow him to love you in the way he chooses to express his love. And let that be enough. Let that be enough while you focus on showing yourself the kind of love that you're trying to get other people to show you. I mean, it's so easy to go and buy yourself flowers. It's so easy. You see flowers you like, oh, I'm getting that. And oftentimes it's like we see something, and I don't want to accuse my friend, but I mean, and that was years ago. We were like super young then. But my thought is that you got those flowers because you like them, but you couldn't give them to yourself because heaven forbid you give something to yourself. So instead, you used him as an excuse to buy the flowers that you wanted, but didn't have the courage to give yourself. I am super huge on peonies. They're like my most favorite fucking flower. Used to be Gerber daisies, but now it's like peonies. Peonies are just gorgeous. They're gorgeous. So one day I went to the grocery store and I saw peonies. I've never seen peonies at the grocery store like being sold. And I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my god, I want that. Oh, I could go give it to Frey." And then I was like, "No, fuck that shit. I want it. I want it for me." And so I bought it. And my husband was there. He's like, "What are you getting that for?" "For me." He's like, "Whoa, why are you mad?" "I'm not. I'm being defiant." He never told me not to get it. He was just asking, "Who are you getting that for?" In that moment, I needed to be passionate in my need for those flowers. And he's like, "What are you? I mean, we don't even have a vase at the house. Like, do you need a vase?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to bathe with them." And I fucking did. And I did. I got in that big ass bougie tub in that big ass bougie house and I filled that shit with peonies and roses and I soaked in it. Hmm. And it felt good. And as soon as I was done bathing, I took those peonies out and I laid them all across the rim of the tub and I let them dry a little bit and then I laid them around the house. Hmm. And he was like, "Are you going to throw these away? Because, I mean, are you going to bathe in them again?" And I was like, "No. And no, I'm not throwing it away. I'm still enjoying them." Yeah, those flowers were for me because I wanted them. I felt beautiful seeing them and I wanted to bathe with them. And I have no apologies for that. And that was the first time I ever allowed myself to experience something like that. Why? Because I grew up with this conditioning that, oh my God, that's just so dramatic. You don't need all of that. I do. I do. I need all of that. I need big ass peonies in my bathtub. I didn't like that bathtub though. It was too big. It's like for two people, and I was too short. So I had to like really stretch it down. My toes had to be like this to the other end of the tub, and I had to hold the rail. I was like relaxing like this with my body stiff as a board and my little toes touching the other end of the tub. But damn it, the peonies were there with me and it felt nice and it had oils in there. And that's probably why I almost fucking drowned. I did. I almost drowned in that bath. No joke. Uh-huh. But I would have, if I did drown, my head went fully into the water and I can't swim. If I did drown, that would have been the most beautifully romantic way to go. Like, Oh, hello, sir. What's wrong? I'm a widow. What happened? My wife died with peonies. I totally had it in my head already. Like, that's it. If I go out like this, it's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. So, card number 49, the infinite. You are part of the infinite. Do you see how her arms are outstretched? She's ready to receive. Allow yourself to receive. This is the period where you're going to get instruction from your soul on how you're going to receive the abundance. Okay. This abundance can come in so many different forms. So many different forms. Ha! For some, Michael's talking. For some, this will be like a ripening of a friendship into like a lifelong type thing, or a recognition that this is a lifelong type of friendship, commitment, whatever. Friendships can be commitments too. They really can. They really, really can. It's not just romantic relationships that are commitments. So this can also be something romantic. Um, Going back to the friends, I'm getting this feeling that it might be a friend coming back, someone who you once really, really valued. Maybe at some point you guys had like a difference of opinion, and that's what caused you to part ways. Um, this might be something worth kind of just reassessing. Don't just allow them back in because Emmy said an old friend was coming back and this is the person who cheated, who helped my former partner cheat on. No, that's not a friend. That's a fucking frenemy. Don't you dare let that heifer back into your life. Fuck that shit. You only get to stab me once before I take out that knife and stab you too. No, I'm not even going to stab you. I'm just going to cut you loose. It's not worth it because you're going to bleed all over my carpet. I don't want to clean that. I'll just cut you loose. You're out forever. So reassess slowly. Use discernment. What was the history between you two that caused the separation? And this could also, this like thought process can lead you to the return of a former romantic interest. Maybe you two weren't actually dating yet. Maybe you guys were just talking to each other. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just something, I don't know. Someone's coming back. I was trying to rationalize something. Michael says someone's coming back. I don't, go away. Card number 9, crown chakra, the unlimited self. You are only as limited as what you believe yourself to be. Whatever limitations you believe in is what your limits will actually be. Okay? No one can tell you you can't be this, you can't be that, that's impossible, blah, 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 blah. Maybe for you, not for me. Go ahead and step to the side and silently watch me do it. And that's all you have to do. Ask them to please scoot over so that you can have space as you accomplish what they're telling you is impossible. It's not impossible for me, maybe for you, but not for me. Don't allow someone else's distortions. Ah, damn it. Y'all, this is some drama stuff. There's something brewing. Okay, brouhaha. Card number 43. Hold up. Yep, here. Okay. Card number 43, lunar eclipse change. Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Ooh, this is getting me a little bit worried. Like, I don't necessarily hide things, but this is something, it feels like it's something you probably don't want to deal with. This is something you've been avoiding. It's a part of your growth. And so now it's coming forward. Ooh, maybe this is the person who's supposed to be coming back to you. Mhm. Yep. So eclipses can bring on times which which seem shadowy and disordered, but they are not necessarily bad and should not be viewed as such. We're meant to be thrown off balance to make necessary changes. This is the person who is really going to throw you off balance. I'm wondering if this was a person who you once orbited. Ooh, did I call you out? I'm sorry. Yeah, I think this is someone who you might have once been really, really fixated on. Maybe it was a very quiet type of fixation. Maybe you didn't even want to admit it to yourself. I'm just saying. When I start going like that, I mean, thank you, Leilani. I just kind of one of those things. So let's see. It's a time of seeing the light and focusing on something you have either put off or didn't exactly notice was coming up. Oh Lord, did you not see them coming? Did you not feel it? You are an empath. Did you not feel their attention? They've been paying attention to you. Where is this reading going? I thought we were talking about abundance and like it's like abundance of drama. I mean, I'd rather deal with cat hair in my lip gloss than that topic. Let's see. When this card presents itself in a reading, dramatic changes are in store. Such changes will likely be unexpected, the kind that might seem hard or will take some special effort on your part. These will not be gradual, easy, barely noticed transformations. I don't know what kind of Pandora's box is being open. This feels like it's going to challenge you to grow tremendously. Tremendously. This is going to be a dramatic period. Let's see. Do not be alarmed. Do not be alarmed. Your world may feel rattled somewhat, but this altering of your life is essential in getting you where you need to be. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Any number of things might happen. The ending or beginning of a transformative relationship, a change in life's path or job, a change in where you live, where it may be. Whatever it may be, it will be abrupt. I see the word inevitable. I see the word inevitable. Whatever the issue, it's been brewing for a while and things are about to bubble over. It could be a partner or a would be partner who wishes to take a relationship to a new level. I mean, I'm a solo worker. I'll work alone. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So, I mean, it's like this card basically was confirming this weird ass sense, aka Michael said it in my ear. Someone's coming back to you. I hope that someone coming back to me is my husband with some fucking chocolate or gummy bears. I'm just saying. Card number 16, Cancer, I feel. This card always gives me like the heebie jeebies. Okay, first off, I have nothing against you, Cancer. I have Cancer in a major placement in my chart. I'm one of y'all, okay? But this card feels like fucking straight up witchcraft shit. Not the cute, cuddly kind, not the nature loving kind, like the full on scary shit kind that people are scared of, malicious. I don't know. Okay, Pisces, this is taking a whole nother spin. You can be assured emotions are high. You may want to withdraw, or you may be dealing with someone who is withdrawn or depressed. This is someone who pulled back from you. Okay. This is someone who pulled back from you. Maybe you pulled back from them. It's coming back around. It's circling back around. Okay. There's sensitivity and emotional closeness indicated. Whatever it wasn't finished. It was abruptly paused. Well, see, there's three moons, three things hidden. It's a third party fucking circumstance. Why did I've never noticed that there were three moons in this Cancer card. Three moons. These two motherfuckers are just focused. I'm assuming this is you. You just shining bright, minding your own business. These two keep following, trailing after you. Okay. This could also mean that family or domestic issues need to be addressed. It ties into women's issues and how women get along. Okay, this is about witches and their power, female mysteries, early life, the soul, being drawn in by illusion and fantasy, what's hidden, being withdrawn, introversion, seclusion, wanting to hide away. There's a lot of disconnected energy within this card. It looks like it's heart based, but no. This is something where, like, whenever it comes up, I cringe. I cringe because it's usually indicative of someone being so malicious in their envy of you. Or maybe it's you being malicious in your envy of someone else. Who knows? This is a general reading. We don't want to be just accusatory for whoever's not watching. It might be you. Who knows? Who knows? But there are, oh, well, shit. There are 3 moons that trail after you. So, third party circumstance and maybe a friend who is extra shadowy, has been causing so much mischief, talking all kind of shit. I'm wondering if someone, okay, here. This is the feeling that I'm getting. So this is you, right? This is whoever you walked away from or like separated from. They have a connection with someone else that maybe they explored. Um, that connection probably went to shit because they're still focused on you. So with that, there's probably either a friend, maybe family, maybe both. That's all up in the ear of the person they try to develop a connection with. They're all up in the ear of this person, and this person is probably what's getting malicious towards you because they can't have what they want. Because what they want actually wants you. This is just some bullshit movie drama. Y'all, don't participate in this shit. For real. I got too much focus on my abundant life, meaning finding people or not finding, allowing people who resonate with me in a beautiful way to get more of my attention and my time, using my other time and energy to create further beauty in my life, ripen my understanding of myself. Empower me further as I rediscover more parts. Yeah, this shit can just be that can be left for nights where I have time to go on Netflix. Fuck that. Don't participate in this. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Um Michael says, for some of us, for some of us, this is a necessary hardship to help you understand certain aspects of yourself better. We're just going to put that down. Okay. Someone's trying some witchcraft shit. I don't play with that kind of stuff. I really don't. I really, really don't. I'm not entertained by any of that at all. At all. I find no humor in it. Like if I can't find something to laugh about in the situation, I don't want to deal with it. Like, nope. Sorry. You chose that. Deal with that. Deal with whoever, the friend, the family, whatever. That's your shit. That's not my shit. I'm just gonna keep shining. I'm a full moon. I'm not a fucking I'm sorry. No. We're done. Card number 13, Aries, I am. Oh God. Michael says the human mind does not get to dictate when the situation is done. It's done when the soul says it is. I'm going to have a conference call with my soul later. I'm going to tell that heifer it's fucking done. Okay, Aries, I am. I guess I'm just a natural warrior. I guess I am. The Aries card says that it's okay to push now, just don't push too hard. You have to always allow yourself to respond, react with the appropriate level of force. Do not go overly over just because you can. Because usually, just like with the arrow, okay, I made this analogy years ago. The arrow, as far back as it's pulled, as much tension as is created with that backwards movement, that is what greatly determines the forward trajectory of that arrow once released. So, whatever you send out, it will be amplified before it circles back around and enters your space once again, affecting your life. I wish no harm on anyone. I just wish you to fucking get your shit together and stop fucking up my rotation. That's not a bad thing. That's not selfish. It's not. It's not selfish or bad to set this intention of if someone has to come back and be a part of my life again, I wish a motherfucker would get their shit together. No more of this fucking toxic drama. I'm not interested in that. If we have to have some sort of soul connection, that shit has to be healthy. You have to be healthy within yourself to be able to access me because anything short of healthy, I refuse. Okay. I refuse. Yeah. No, you have to be healthy within yourself. You have to match my level of personal spiritual health, my level of commitment to my growth. I mean, you don't have to be that committed to me. You have to be that committed to yourself, because anything short of that, I refuse to give you permission to access me so that you can drag me back to a place that I've outgrown within myself. No, no. I'm not necessarily opposed to reconnection with people. I'm opposed to repeating the same stupid fucking bullshit that was brought about the first time around. And that's not, if you feel the same, if that's resonating with you, that's not you being a bitch. That is you having some kind of standard and self respect. It's not. It's not a bad thing. It's a powerful thing to recognize what you deserve, and not just recognize it, but demand that anything that enters within your space, not outside of you, but within your space, it has to be of equal resonance. It has to. Equal or higher. Because if you can't join me as I walk or lift me up to a higher level of knowing, of existing, of understanding, really, I mean, what is it? And now Michael's correcting me again. He's saying those people who just serve as excess heavy baggage for you to carry, they sometimes have their purpose, because it's through the challenge of you feeling as though you need to carry that weight that you actually develop more spiritual muscle. But I mean, really, do you wear ankle weights all day? There's a time and a place for that. There's a time and a place for that. And it's usually something that's intended. Unless their presence is something you intend to allow to grow you, that toxicity should not have any place in your life. It really shouldn't. But you don't have to listen to me. I'm not, I mean, hell, I barely listened to my mom growing up. I was going to say, I'm not your mom. You don't have to listen to me. But I mean, most of us don't even listen to our mom. So, Aries, you can push, just not too hard. Um, this sign This is a sign that you're always on the defensive, ready for action. Um, the Aries style of relating is that of catalyst using force, not of a peacemaker. They're interested in a number of areas, have a fascination with weapons. When this card turns up, expect things to move fast, for there is no time to take it step by step. So this is going to be a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. This card marks a period where you are forceful and headstrong. You can now forge a direction or path as you have the vision and energy to do so. Okay, in love affairs, you will want to take the lead. You may attract spontaneous and enthusiastic lovers. Be ready to reach new plateaus. There may be the opportunity for more than one lover. You may find yourself running into walls. You will not want to compromise right now, but you should do just that. So, compromise between the self and the soul, not compromise your integrity, compromise your sense of self worth, compromise your sense of self respect. That's never something you compromise, ever, for anyone, ever. Create a compromise between self and soul, where the self, which is governed by the limited, finite human brain, can find a compromise that allows for the alignment with the soul, this infinite thing that really has a better understanding of what this circumstance is trying to grow you into. Every circumstance in your life is attempting to grow you into something, another version of you that's much more refined in your sense of self, in your sense of purpose, your sense of direction. So allow that. Definitely allow that. All right, guys, this reading is making me tired. Totally not joking. It's making me sleepy. Card number 44, Visions of Life Beyond Death. Something you thought was once dead is being resurrected. Oh, God. Something you once thought was dead is now being resurrected. It's in the process of resurrection. Well, hello, Lazarus. hmm We're having a Lazarus moment here. I don't feel like this is a Jesus moment. This feels more like a Lazarus. Hmm. Visions of life beyond death, 44. Two, well, okay. Okay, that makes me feel less salty. 4 and 4. Four is a number of self. So the self and the self. These are two who are equals. Equals standing side by side, walking forward together. So okay. This requires a death of yourself as you know yourself to be. This is the metaphoric death. We're not talking about actual literal death. Okay. So this is a metaphoric shamanic death, a death of your personal perception. This is about allowing your third eye to elevate into a place of spiritual direction. That compass points north into that lunar energy. This is about a dark night of the soul. This is about things that you've hidden from yourself. These are things that you probably hid from yourself to protect yourself. They were probably topics or connections that were too difficult for you to process. That golden ring looks more brassy than gold. It looks like a type of confinement. Hmm. Maybe you've confined yourself into a specific way of being because of your fear of processing. Regardless, that egg is shooting up from that moon. This is about activation. This is about transformation, transmutation. Messages from soul encouraging you to enter into a peacock state where you are really just not ashamed to be who you are anymore. And that peacock state then leads to an owl state, which is the return of your wisdom. And there's going to be plenty of people watching this take place, green eyed with envy. Mhm. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Take control of your situation. Pisceans and empaths. No longer are you to just sit and wait and watch things unfold as other people take control and dictate to you how to live your life. You are in an active state of co creation. You can easily choose to not participate. You can easily choose to shift the direction of the trajectory of that arrow. I mean, you could do whatever you like, really. Whatever you like, as long as your intent does not involve causing harm to someone else intentionally. You could do whatever you like. Send it to her, decide where you want this to go. Where do you want the return of an individual to go? Into the trash. Michael said, don't say that. I was already in the process of saying it. Into the trash, which, based on Michael's response, is probably not the best idea. Shelving it, tossing it, whatever. It's probably something you need to face at this point, okay? Card number 2, inner trust. Allow yourself to trust yourself in your process. This is your process, no one else's. That means no one else gets to dictate to you how this process is going to go. Take control. Take control. Card number 6, shock of the new. Okay, so looks like whoever's coming back is going to serve as your sunflower, someone who is a reflection of the areas of your growth. Now, again, this is a general reading. It doesn't mean that for everyone, if you have someone coming back, they are your sunflower. No, no. It's at this point you need to use your discernment. If you're just so like hell bent on having a sunflower because Emmy's talked about sunflowers and you want a sunflower too because it's not the twin flame topic, but it sounds cool because Emmy said it. I'm not trying to antagonize you, but really, who the hell am I to you? I'm not infallible. Don't use me as an excuse to enable toxicity and the return of it in your life. Use your discernment, take control. Stop giving me the reins because I have no direction. I don't. If you've ever ridden a car with me, eventually we get to where we're going, but it's going to be a long time. Because I'm going to take you all over the fucking place. I'm just saying. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. If you're going to allow yourself to grow, you need to guard that growth. It is a precious, precious, precious thing. Don't be so caught up in this ego based, I've grown, I've done the work. I've already um, I've already like popped up out of the dirt. I was once a seed. Now I'm a plant. I've done the work. Okay, but you understand the first couple weeks after that baby plant has popped up out of the soil, they are very susceptible to damage, the type of destruction that prevents the plant from fully growing. You have to protect that new growth. Don't be so full of this concept of you've done the work. You know, you could have done all the work you want, but really, just like with at the gym, I've done the work. I've watched videos. I know proper form. But when you take things too far, when you load too much weight on that bar, I really don't care how many videos you've watched showing you proper form. You can't see that you're tucking your butt in. And unless you're holding yourself accountable by being fully present, fully analytic of where you're at within that position, you're probably going to seriously hurt yourself. And it's at that point, you can't blame someone else for the fact that you allowed your ego to become displaced and thinking it can take the wheel and drive you into a brick wall. That's no one else's fault because that ego is an aspect of you, a very important aspect that gives you a sense of an individuated experience, individuated identity. The ego does not need to be killed, it needs to be put back in its proper place behind soul. If not, you're going to be put in a position of a need for restore and replenish. Card number 38, 3 being a solid foundation, 8 being the number of reunification. It's at this point where you're so broken down, feeling broken down, that you can begin really creating a solid foundation from which to bring in all your parts. All these parts of you that you need in order to reconstruct these pathways of abundance. The key is in holding it together. You have to hold it together. You have to hold all your pieces together. You can allow yourself to fall apart for a short period because it's in that falling apart, the pieces are freed to be reused, to reconstruct the structures that really create your sense of who you are. Sometimes that's what that mental breakdown is, breaking free all those pieces that were caught up into being used in a way that someone else told you to use it. Mm-mm. You know how I do my makeup? I do it so like weird to most people. For my blush, I use lipstick. I've been using lipstick for quite some time now. And people are like, "Oh my god, did she just put lipstick on her face?" Yeah, it's the same thing as cream blush. It's the same damn thing. Just because someone else told me not to use it that way, just because someone else doesn't understand that you can use it that way, doesn't mean anything. Sometimes you have to fall apart to fall together. And that's not going to be because someone else instructed you to fall apart. That's because that glue that you've been trying to use to hold false things together, it's reached its max. It just it can't. It can't. And you need to get to a point where you allow your pieces to function in the way that they're meant to function, which is synergistically together. My light complements my dark, which complements my light, which empowers my dark, which empowers my light, which balances my dark, which balances my. See how they go together? They go together. All your parts are important. There's no part of you that you need to be ashamed of and hide away. Society tells you that. And when you do that, you block your abundance from coming in. The truth of your power is hidden in your shadows because the reality of it is because of the way the human brain is designed, until you reach a certain level of emotional and mental maturity, you will fear the darkness. So, what better place to hide these really powerful parts of you than in the very place you will not go until you are mature enough to be able to responsibly handle it? Hmm. And then we got all these gurus telling you darkness is bad. It's all about love and light. No, they're teaching you to cripple yourself. They are teaching you to be afraid of the very parts of you that are the most powerful parts. And this power has nothing to do with dominating someone else. This power has everything to do with losing your fear of who you are. And in that loss of fear, space is created. Creation doesn't like empty space, it fills it with something. Guess what you're going to fill it with? Your abundance. This is about losing your fear in order to bring your abundance in. There's a huge potentiality that you're not afraid of failure. You've convinced yourself you're afraid of failure, when in reality, what you're truly afraid of is success and people recognizing this success, this power, because then it takes away your ability to continue to hide yourself away. Maybe you're not in this life to be hidden. Maybe you're in this life as an empath or a Piscean or both, so that you can be witnessed as you reclaim your energy and your power and your birthright and your abundance. And all of that cannot fit in the box that society tells you you're supposed to fit in. I'm sorry. I wasn't created for boxes. I just wasn't. Not even in childhood. I was not created to exist within a box to make other people feel comfortable. Even as a child, I have made people feel so uncomfortable by my existence because I'm so truthful that you can't hide behind your bullshit. I used to be ashamed of that. I used to be so fucking ashamed of the fact that I don't lie. I don't like try and convince people of things. I just exist and my existence booms the truth that makes people feel uncomfortable. It's not my job to make you feel comfortable. It's my job to simply be present and give you the opportunity to choose whether you want to witness me in my process, because my process has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. You decide what filters you use to witness me in my process. And if you're using a filter of distortion where it's competing, comparing, like, oh, she thinks she's better than me. No, I don't. You think I'm better than you. I don't think I'm better than you. I'm not even comparing myself to you. Hell, I probably don't even know you exist. How can I compete or compare with you if I don't even know you exist? And even if I know you exist, I've cultivated my life to be this place where if your presence and your distorted perceptions offend my soul, you will not be allowed to stay. The only people that I allow to hold space with me are the people who allow me to be me and not uncomfortable or feeling unsafe within my own space. So if I know you exist, I'm celebrating your existence. Mhm. And the fact that I know these things about myself eliminates this need for me to be like, oh my God, am I being mean? No, girl, you're not mean. You can be fucking vicious when people make you feel as though you have no other option to be anything outside of vicious. Like you have to be vicious because that's the only language they speak and hear. So let me just be vicious. Let me get this over with. Okay, now you understand where I'm coming from. You can leave now because you bring out of me a toxicity that I've outgrown that. And I don't need to continue to expose myself to that, to give myself opportunities to confirm for myself that I've outgrown that. That's the thing. There's another concept that society and spiritual people peddle. It's this concept of it's so childish of you to cut people out because you don't want to hear them. I'm sorry. Why do I need to continue listening to you if I already know within my heart I don't value your opinion or your stance? Why do I need to continue listening to that? And I don't only value, see, this is the key part. I don't only value the things that agree with me and my opinion and stance. I value what creates conversation that will give all the participants the opportunity for further expansion of awareness and tapping into higher levels of infinite consciousness. That I value. Like you can disagree with me, we can have completely different stances, but if in that disagreement You can inspire me to open myself more, to question, to receive, to process, to discern. I value you. I value you. Like, I recently brought on someone I've known for a very long time. We were chatting for a bit. Yo, me and her, we differ in opinion for a lot of things. I still value her deeply because of the fact that sometimes there will be things that I don't agree with her opinion, but it causes me to dive deeper into myself and question, do I just not agree because it's for the sake of not agreeing? Or is there something within me that's averse to whatever that's triggering? It's triggering me in a way. I need to find out why. Why? Is this an aspect of me that's still not healed? Am I seeing behaviors that maybe embarrassed me at one point because I behaved in that way and I received this type of treatment? It causes me to further dive deeper into myself. And that's a beautiful gift. That's absolutely a beautiful gift. You don't need nothing but agreement and, the same type of mindset. No. But if you just fucking toxic and you're here just to be able to, you know, say that you're here because ain't nobody can kick you out because you gonna stay. No, I'm sorry. I'm inviting you into my bedroom. No, you will not force your way into my sacred space. If this is my bedroom, your presence here in my intimate space is the equivalent of you attempting to, I don't know, let your mind continue with that. No, don't let people do that to you. Don't let people do that to you. The most intimate parts of you should be protected and honored, just like your private parts. Would you just let anyone in there? Would you just let anyone do whatever they want? And then you should feel ashamed for not allowing them? I'm sorry, what kind of backwards ass fucking bullshit are you trying to get me to agree to? No, I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. Nope. If I wouldn't allow you to behave that way in my private hoo ha areas, you're not behaving that way with my soul. I promise you that. hmm I promise you. And I won't have any shame for it either. This is how you bring your abundance in. The more of your self shaming, the more of your self attacking behaviors that you push out and no longer participate in, the more space is created within you to pull your abundance back home to you. This is your birthright, no one else's. No one else's. For you to feel badly that this birthright was gifted to you by creation itself is the equivalent of you being ashamed that you have the eyes you have and all your siblings don't have the same eyes and they covet your eyes. I'm sorry. Did you Are you ashamed that, you have eyes that your family finds more attractive than your siblings? They value it more for some reason. Maybe it's a different color, maybe it's a different shape, maybe there's some depth within that they feel they don't have. But is that your fault? Whether it's your fault or not, those are still your eyes. Whether you believe it's your fault or not, whether you are ashamed or not, that is still your abundance. It belongs to you and only you. Stop making it so easy for the abusers of the world to abuse you. Stop facilitating that by allowing yourself to continue to buy into thought processes, um, mental structures that actually serve as prisons. Stop buying into that. Card number 23, defend to the end the worthwhile. You are worth the process and the experience it takes to understand the value of you and your sovereignty. You suffer only because you refuse to accept the truth of how much creation loves you and provides for you. But Emmy, how does creation love me if all that ever happens is bad stuff? Is it bad stuff or is it opportunity to learn that you continue to refuse to learn? And so it continues to come back. The lesson continues to return so long as you don't learn it. You don't like that lesson? Learn it. Ah! Fucking shit. Okay, I was going to go ahead and shuffle the deck. All right, so I picked up a small stack from the deck to shuffle the cards into. And I usually don't look at the bottom of the deck when I do that. But for some reason, I heard Michael ask me if I wanted to look at what's at the bottom. And I didn't even think about it because I was talking and I saw a card and I decided to shuffle it into the deck anyways. I decided to shuffle it anyways and set the intention that if it's really important that I show you this card, that it would wind up at the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. So, whoever needed to see it, part of this message has to do with. I was going to say something else, and I set another intention that if. that if this really has to do with that subject matter, the card I shuffled again. I'm all about avoidance at times. That if at the bottom of the deck it's the same card, then a lot of the subject matter that we discuss, the returning whatever, yada, 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 has to do with this. So let's just get the final card. I'm not diving into that topic. It's a beautiful day. It's a 222 portal. Let's just find a nice card. Okay, let's get some poetry up in here. Poetry is gorgeous. I love poetry. You know, oh my God, my most favorite poem of all time, Pablo Neruda. I love you as all dark things are to be loved. In between shadow and the soul. Let me read it to you guys. Hold on. Wait. Uh-huh. So let's read this. I do not love you as if you were salt rose or topaz, or the arrow of carnations the fire shoots off. I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret, between the shadow and the soul. I love you as a plant that never blooms but carries in itself the light of hidden flowers. Thanks to your love, a certain solid fragrance, risen from the earth, lives darkly in my body. I love you without knowing how or when or from where. I love you straightforwardly without complexities or pride. So I love you because I know no other way than this, where I does not exist, nor you. So close that your hand on my chest is my hand, so close that your eyes close as I fall asleep. I fucking love Pablo Neruda. I think that was written about the affair he was having with his secretary. What? Okay. Pablo Neruda. Yes. I love poetry like no other. Here, I give you guys, I just Googled this. Here you go. Read more of his stuff. Hello, poetry. Okay, let's get you guys a roomy thing. Ooh, you who show the way. Ooh, card number 33. That's my life path. Okay, 33. Oh. Card number 33. You who show the way. The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. I have looked to you in my darkest moments, searched for you as though fumbling for the candle and matches during an unexpected and interminable blackout. I am the ship at sea, seeking you as my guiding light. Nay, I am the sea, rising up to the horizon because I yearn to be closer to you. Then, oh, to my greatest relief, you rise like a phoenix from the ocean, casting hallowed golden light all around you. This great blazing angel of holy fire. In a sweet instant, my soul rests in your presence. The sea becomes calm, the darkness abates. Your light reveals truth, and through your living presence, I know my true self again. I am what you are. Even when it appears I'm returning after being lost in darkness, as though I could ever be extinguished, I am divine light. I am you, a living sun. Even in your unquenchable passion for service to humanity, to the world that offers you so much, there's a time when your most powerful offering is actually and most simply that of your presence. You show the way. You who inspire through how you choose to live and be. You who sometimes think to yourself to be invisible. You who consider yourself to be of no particular or exceptional worth. Yes, you who through your choice to live your truth, reveal my face, demonstrate my love, embody my presence, heal my beloveds, and love my creations. This oracle comes to you with a special message. You are an inspiration. You are helping those around you and even many of whom you are unaware. You are doing this because this is your path. This is your way. This is your gift. To live a life dedicated to the growth of consciousness and through that dedication, inspire others to receive the loving consciousness of the great beloved that can benefit them so greatly, no matter what their situation or circumstance. You are not doing this through any effort or will. You are doing this because this is your nature, your being, your way. Just as the sun breaks through darkness with its own light, shining light with its presence by simply being, so too does your inner sun, your soul. You don't have to understand this or do anything with the information given, although you may find it of comfort or even be shocked by it, pleasantly perhaps. It's just an acknowledgement of who and what you are, given freely because you are ready to receive such an acknowledgement. You're also being gifted through this oracle with a sign. This oracle is an omen, an issue too difficult for you to understand, no matter how hard you've been working on it, is about to be resolved. You have no need to hold on to it or become more worthy of that resolution. It's going to happen according to the grace of the great beloved, and your job is to allow it to happen, to simply bear witness to the resolution, even if you have no idea what's going on in the process. You may feel that while you're letting go, the resolution happens without you being aware of it until after the fact. Then, apparently, all of a sudden, what was an issue is no longer so. You who help others are a worthy recipient of the help of the great beloved. Be prepared to surrender all plans and convictions about what can and cannot be, about what you can think you know and what you think you need. Allow the benevolent grace of the beloved to take you through the great waves as the seas become calm and serene under the living divine light. This oracle brings the message that if you have a situation in your midst that feels impossible to resolve, the divine has it covered. Do the sacred honoring ritual and let it be sorted out by a power greater than your own. It shall be sorted out, and your sun shall rise. Just as day follows night, again and again, so too shall your sun rise after any issue or struggle. Have faith and hope, and know that this is a sensible approach to any dilemma, no matter how serious it may seem. For what use is it to bemoan the absence of day, even in the longest night, when you know, in every moment, dawn is ever closer to breaking once again? Your hope then is not foolish, but wise. Hold on to this sense of self that you're beginning to develop. It's time to allow your hope and your faith to create enough space to mature into a knowing. Enter into that part of your journey where you experience gnosis. Gnosis being a knowing of self, being a knowing of creation, providing you the very circumstance and connections that will further expand your consciousness awareness. That means the awareness of your consciousness. Um, Michael says, beautiful things can happen if only you allow yourself to see the beauty in it. So there's beauty in every circumstance of life. And all that really determines whether you perceive that moment as beautiful or not um, is really how you choose to see it. There's beauty even in pain and struggle. Um, Struggle is definitely not the goal, but when you struggle, there's beauty in that as well. Allow yourself to see the process that you're in. This process, although challenging, although oftentimes painful, um, it's really the very process that brings your abundance back to you. Are you done living in the limited way that you have been for pretty much your entire life? Are you ready to step into your grace? Grace for self. Pisceans and empaths have no problem having grace for other people, but grace for the self, heaven forbid. You honor yourself the way you honor others. Maybe it's time for that. Maybe it's time I hold you accountable for the ways in which you refuse to honor yourself. Maybe it's time for you to hear me call you out on your own bullshit. I mean, I think I would have grown a lot faster with much more grace much earlier on if I had someone who loved me enough to call me out on my things the way I do in my live streams. Because back then, I didn't know anyone who was willing to tell the truth at the depth that I do. Everyone was just afraid to hurt your feelings. Heaven forbid you be truthful about the ways in which I hurt and harm myself, the ways in which I ignore my soul and offend my own existence. Heaven forbid. And maybe I had to go through all of that alone so that I could understand the gravity of why I allow you to experience the witnessing of me in my unfolding now. Because really, the gravity of this, of me, of witnessing my process, it carried no gravity until my pain anchored it into this life. It was only then that I began to understand why I can no longer be hidden away, why I have to allow you to witness me in my process of losing my shame of self, the process that I go through to bring in my abundance, which is the most important part of my abundance, is you guys, really. Because not only do you give gravity to my purpose, not only do you confirm what that purpose is, you empower me to be less and less ashamed of who I am, all my quirks, all my different ugly things that I determined was ugly for no reason other than because these are the very things that make me stand out more. These are the very things that make my light even brighter. And heaven forbid I shine so bright that the cave dwellers hurt their eyes when they watch. Heaven forbid, you know? So, you who show the way, if you view me as someone who shows you the way, please know in your own special way, you show me the way too. All right, guys. 222 portal, the 222 portal is today. Allow the energies of today to guide you to the thoughts, the ideas, the inspiration that you need to push through all of the bullshit of the world. All of these things you've been taught to believe about yourself, about your purpose, about your journey. Throw it all out. Even the things that I said in the past, throw it all out. Start over fresh today. Give your soul the authority, the space, and the recognition to guide you from this point on. Okay. The reason I say throw it all out, guess what? You create space for more abundance to come in when you do that. Throw out your preconceived notions, throw out your expectations, throw it all out. Throw it all out. Whatever is meant to stay will stay. Whatever is meant to grow you will be present. Whether it's a returning, whether it's, still there, um, it will be there. Okay. My birthday's tomorrow. So I was born in the Philippines. So technically, Technically. Technically. Um, yeah. I was born on 222 stateside. And I was born at the 2 o'clock part of the day. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you the exact time because I know some people will try and pull my birth chart. You don't need to know all of that. Yeah. Um, well, okay. It was in the 2 o'clock of something. Okay. All right, guys. I love you so much. I'm going to be going live today, I think at 5:30 PST, Pacific Standard Time, California time, to do the fire ceremony. If you would like to be a part of that, purchase is not necessary. But if you would like the fire blessing or the fire code activation or any other expedite, you could. I didn't put the link. um yeah, you're gonna have to find it. It's like a Easter egg hunt. Let's make it fun. Find it. Find it. I don't know what the link is. Hold on. My uncle goes, you cannot say that. I just did. I just did. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I found it. Har, har. There you guys go. If you'd like to join, again, I'm going to live at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I might have that time wrong because I have a squirrel brain. So you're just going to have to subscribe to my channel. Before you do that, give this video a thumbs up, share it out, do whatever you need to do, freshen up, find some flowers, bathe in it, don't drown. Oiled in bathtub is dangerous. Don't drown. And then come back at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Share that space with me. I will make myself extra cute for y'all. I might even brush my hair. I'm just saying. I will see you guys. I love you. Bye.